All right, so good morning, everyone, and welcome. This is Twist Gaming, where you get to play board games with us. We're coming to you live here from the Peppermill in Reno, Nevada, from the GAMA convention, bringing you all the cool board game coverage, interviews, behind-the-scenes stuff, a lot of stuff going on. But first up, let's get some introductions out of the way. As usual, I'm Matt, and I'm joined with my special guest this morning, Vinny from Double Exposure. How you doing today, Vinny?
I'm doing great. I'm having a great time here at GAMA.
How's the con treating you so far?
Very well, very well. This hotel is absolutely gorgeous. You know, coming into this, I know there was a lot of chatter about how, oh, we're moving to Reno, and what are we going to do? And I got to tell you, I'm total surprised about how gorgeous this hotel is, and it fits GAMA perfectly.
Absolutely. I'm very impressed with how everything's laid out, and it's been a very pleasant experience so far.
Sure. Lots of nooks and crannies. You're never shorting for a meeting. You can always find a place to sit.
Absolutely.
That was our major concern at Bally's, I think.
Yeah, there was not so many nooks and crannies for us to get tucked away in and have a quiet one-on-one.
Right. I remember having meetings at slot machines. It was great.
Well, I mean, you could still do that. So, Vinny, talk to me about some of the stuff that you've got coming down the pipeline. I know you said earlier before the stream that you have some stuff going on at Gen Con this year.
Well, we have a brand new product at Gen Con. Just to recap, we run the first exposure playtest hall at Gen Con, and we have many designers and many people going through that area. I know you guys did a feature on it last year, and hope everybody remembers.
People watching for the first time that maybe aren't familiar with First Exposure, can you give a brief rundown of what that is?
Sure. It is the place where designers, first time or experienced, can bring in their prototypes, and we fill the room and their tables with playtesters from the Gen Con attendees. It's completely free to the attendees to come in and playtest a game for 2 hours, and we run 27 slots. Through the convention, ran almost 4,000 people through the playtest hall. We had 123 designers actually in there among the 27 slots.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
So something new that's coming up this year is going to be, correct me if I'm wrong here, the First Encounter Designer Showcase.
That's right. This is our new product, Feds. Yes, this is our new product for 2018, and it will be an interestingly structured approach. For people who follow double exposure products one way or the other, we tend to take ideas and give them a little more structure than perhaps traditionally. This will be a Gen Con function just like First Exposure is, and it is a place where designers can put either near finished or pretty much finished prototypes onto a table for the publishers to come and look at. We're going to be doing it in 2-hour segments each of the 3 nights, Thursday night, Friday night, and Saturday night. And publishers will be able to come in and look at the products that they'd like to see based on categories. So, for example, one 2-hour block might be 4X. Another 2-hour block might be social deduction. Things along those lines. Publishers that are interested in more than one category will come at various times. We're working, obviously, with Gen Con on the entire exhibitor list to make sure that everybody has an opportunity to come. It's completely free to the exhibitors and publishers to come and actually attend this, and we'll make sure that every designer who signs up for this gets a large portion of publishers getting to look at their game.
Fantastic. So it's almost based off of what you're saying, like a mini convention within the convention, kind of like a quick 1-hour opportunity for everyone to set up, show off their games real quick to some of the publishers out there, and then tear down and just keep that rotating all throughout. Yeah,
it's based on speed dating concepts that some conventions do, but like I said, it's a little bit more structured in the sense that there are no surprises. Everybody will know exactly what's going on walking in. And one of the pieces of feedback that I've gotten from Gen Con, which is a major reason why they want to do this as a Gen Con function, is that the exhibitors are constantly saying they never have time at Gen Con for the barrage of designers that want to show them games. And a lot of times that takes up valuable booth time and any number of things. So we're actually going to go much further into this because obviously we have all the connections with the exhibitors and the designers from both ends, Envoy and First Exposure, and bringing them together in a structured way is a strength that, I think can really be brought forth in this product. Now, we're going to do it for the first time this year, make tweaks, and hopefully it'll be perfect for 2019, but we hope to get a whole lot of people interested in this in, like I said, a slightly more productive and less surprising way than it's been done in the past.
Absolutely, and I know that in the past I've talked to several designers that when they first go to Gen Con, you know, it's a Big Daddy convention right there, they are surprised by the fact that they need to schedule meetings with these publishers weeks, months out in advance, and it's just something that a lot of people don't know, and I feel like this, what you're going to be doing here with Feds is going to present an opportunity for them to not only show off their product, but kind of show off what they're doing to a mass number of people without maybe necessarily having to do all of that extra legwork in the beginning.
That's exactly it. Gen Con can be so intimidating to a new designer coming in, you know, with a game. Basically, they have no idea what to do. And Double Exposure for years has been hand-holding, mostly because we're the first entry point for a lot of designers through both First Exposure and Metatopia. So we've been hand-holding and kind of guiding people as to, well, here's how you show off your game, and here's how you do it. And that's the kind of approach that we're going to take to Feds, which is we're not just going to say, oh, have fun. We're going to actually guide them. These are the things you need to do. We're going to give them standard forms. We're going to give them standard business cards. How many times have I heard, oh, I forgot my business cards. I have no way to do this. We're going to have them give us an explanation, a 2-sentence explanation of the game. We're going to make sure that that is the very first thing that any publisher sees upon entering the table, just in a standard way, so that the publishers will be able to quickly look at things and make decisions, and the designers won't have to struggle about what do I need to copy. What do I need to prepare?
Definitely iron out like a solid elevator pitch.
Exactly, and we're going to help them with that before they ever step foot in the door.
That's fantastic. So you're definitely grooming this new breed of designers that are coming into the industry, and really just allowing them to hit the ground running instead of stumbling out of the gate.
Absolutely.
That's invaluable. Because I know a lot of people definitely have struggled with that in the past, and it sounds absolutely amazing that you're providing that service for everyone.
And it goes hand in hand with everything else that we do. We give personalized service to everything. At First Exposure, every designer spends time on the phone with us discussing what they're actually showing off and play testing, and we go over guidelines, and they always have something in hand as a structure to make sure that they're doing it right and that they don't have to think, and I get so many nervous emails. Even this year, as we open the registration, we get a flood of like 50 designers. Half of them were here coming for the first time, and the overall theme is, I'm so nervous. How do I schedule? How do I do that? Patience, it's okay. We're going to get started in late April, and we're going to take it easy, and we're going to talk with you. And I always get this sigh of relief. Okay, you're going to hold my hand? Great, no problem.
So what kind of feedback have you been getting already with Feds? Has people been excited about it, talking about it? What kind of chatter are you hearing?
It is literally brand new. We were thinking about this for the last few months, and I've been solidifying it with Gen Con. So we've only started announcing it in the last few weeks, and
hot off the presses.
This is hot off the presses, and the form will be online for the designers probably within 2 weeks.
Very cool.
Right underneath the First Exposure sign-up forms. And we consider it a companion product. So one of the first things we're going to do is encourage anybody who is in First Exposure to also do this, so that when they bring their design, they'll play test it and show it to publishers to see what kind of feedback they're going to get from the publishers. A comprehensive package that hopefully will result in some great new games for 2019.
Fantastic. And, sounds like some double exposure going on there, huh?
Well, I got to tell you, yes, we love helping out people, but there's always that possibility that anybody who's successful with a game is going to become an Envoy client. So, we're in every step of the process.
Fantastic. So what part of the First Encounter Designer Showcase are you looking forward to the most? Is there one part of it specifically that you're really excited to show off for these people to get involved with? One aspect of it that you really are just super excited to get going?
I think that helping the publishers to not feel as though they're rushed through something that may or may not be helpful to them is going to be one of the real strengths. And I'm looking forward to working with publishers, even publishers I don't know, which are few, but they are there, to really surprise them with how easy this is going to be for them to see the stuff that they want to see in an effective time frame.
Absolutely, and that sounds like it'll be a huge boon to both the publishers and the designers.
Yeah, the designers are going to sit there nervously no matter what happens, so I don't think anything's going to change that.
Hopefully a little less nervous than they would normally be.
Right. And one of the interesting things is that we also can help facilitate afterwards. So any designer that comes to us, you know, for either first exposure or in this case first encounter, we will handhold past that process. So if somebody comes and says, you know, what do I do with this? Should I self-publish? Should I sell it to a publisher? We're going to go through the ins and outs with them. We're going to talk about how hard it is to get into distribution. We're going to talk to them about why they might sell it to a certain company, or maybe they want to target these companies because they specialize in those sorts of games. So we do all of that work and maintain those relationships.
Very cool. So, Vinny, is there anything else coming through the pipeline that you want to talk about or can talk about? I don't know if I could pull some secrets.
Nothing, no secrets, actually. We're pretty transparent. I guess, you know, the most exciting thing that we do outside of Envoy is the Metatopia, which continues to grow. We got over 700 attendees for this past Metatopia in November in Morristown, New Jersey. Over 400 of which were designers, the largest concentration of designers outside of Origins and Gen Con.
That's so awesome.
And so we're always excited about that. And Envoy continues to grow. We're going to be adding some new companies in the next couple of months. Our heralds, we have over 1,100 heralds now across the country in every state, including Alaska and Hawaii. We've expanded into Canada and Mexico. And although Puerto Rico isn't a foreign country, it might as well be for the purposes of shipping games.
Yeah.
But we do have heralds everywhere at this point. And we're tying conventions and meetup groups, distributors, facilitators, stores, everything together in a more comprehensive way of dealing with the industry, which was our goal all along. And we're really, you know, starting to bear fruit in the sense that, for example, we're supporting dozens of play-to-win conventions across the country that not only are pretty much only Envoy products, but we've nurtured them into even growing to the point where they could do that. Because we take that interest in the conventions and say, well, you're a 90-person one-day show. Here's how you get to a 3-day, 500-person show.
So it sounds like the roots are definitely spreading.
Absolutely, and our companies are certainly noticing it because now Envoy when somebody, I had a comment from a distributor, and he said to me, so when we think about structured play in stores, the first word that comes to mind is Envoy. And of course I swell with pride when I hear something like that. We're going to continue that. Absolutely.
Inside, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, Vinny. Well, thank you for taking the time to talk to us today.
My pleasure.
We appreciate it. And thank all of you for watching at home. Stay tuned for more coverage throughout the day today from the GAMA convention here in Reno, Nevada. Signing off for now, though, I'm Matt. Thanks again, Vinny. Really appreciate it.
My pleasure.
Have a good one.
All righty.